Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.
Welcome back, Luca Nation. And as I promised you guys yesterday, I was going to bring you a play that I'm really excited about. And today's play, it's a play that, I've been called the Goat Hoarder. I love investing in some of the best.
Did you just say you're a goat whore? What are you doing with goats?
I'm a goat whore. I am a goat whore. These are DMs that Luca Nation says because I love Michael. I love investing in Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and today's play, guys. And I bet a lot of you are out there feeling like you missed the boat on Tom Brady. Cage. Now, I think regardless if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, and I'm willing to hear your prediction. I know you're a Mahomes hater. He's the greatest.
I'm a Brady hater too.
Are you really?
Yeah, man. I'm a Raider fan. I don't like either of these guys. I told you, if the fucking field got struck by lightning, I would be fine. Sorry about the F-bomb there. But, I mean, Brady killed me. I mean, my Raiders were the better team for a long time, early 2000, 2001, 2002. I mean, you got the Tuck Rule game. I mean, that was horrible. So I've hated Brady forever. And on top of it, I'm a Drew Bledsoe guy. I got a 5,000 count box of Drew Bledsoe rookies in my basement worth about $1.380. So I've hated Brady for longer than you can say Bridget Moynihan. You know why that's funny?
That's his old wife.
Yay! Good job, pal. All right.
I read people when I'm at the grocery store, like waiting in the checkout aisle.
Look at this guy.
How about that page? Do you ever notice that, like, when you're checking out of the grocery store, they just put, like, tabloids about other people's lives right in front of you? It's like, this couple splits. She found out he was cheating. Do you ever think about that? Like how that was the first?
No, because when I'm online in the grocery store, I'm just checking out what candy bars they have. So I don't get to them.
On the other side. What's your favorite candy bar?
It depends, Twix. Man. It depends on what kind of. I like Twix, but it depends what kind of mood I'm in. Yeah, you might this bar called whatchamacallit. That was a good bar. That was a good candy bar. There's a thing now called like there's Nutrageous. There's a Take 5, which is a good one. It's got like everything in the kitchen sink. Got like a pretzel and caramel and peanut butter and chocolate. It's got like everything in there. Good stuff. But if I have to have just one candy bar, Snickers with almonds.
Snickers with almonds. Me too, brother. I knew something. Snickers with almonds. My man.
Snickers with almonds. That's it.
Wow. We're kindred souls. Well, anyway, back to it. What do you think Brady's rookie card is? Is it the Bowman for you? Because I know he has two, right? He has the Bowman and he has is it the Topps one?
He's got a lot of rookie cards. I would say his rookie to get is the SP Authentic. The white card that's numbered, followed closely by the Bowman Chrome. Then, there's also a Bowman regular, sort of like the paper Chrome debate, like everything else. Bowman has refractors as well, obviously. But there's a lot. There's a lot of cards. Brady rookie cards. Upper Deck has a card. There's Upper Deck Black that has a card. There's SBX that has a card. A lot of different versions from Upper Deck from that year came out for him. There's Fleer card. I mean, there's a lot. There's Fleers. Then for autographs, there's even more autographs. Yep. I mean, the Contenders auto.
You didn't mention one. And I didn't mention one. Nice. It's not his rookie. But it falls along the lines of the 2012 Prism play, right? As much as the player's rookie is important, I think there's something to be said about the market. This isn't my opinion. It just feels like it's more of a market opinion. Something to be said about first-year Topps Chrome release and first-year Panini Prism. And my play today is a card that's seen a little bit of a run-up, but I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity here with the 2002 Tom Brady Topps Chrome card. That's Tom Brady's first Topps Chrome. And it reminds me, I think it's going to be something iconic, similar to the 2012 Prism. But Cage, I wanted to ask your opinion because you're literally like a walking encyclopedia. You're not just all jokes. You know a ton of stuff, which kind of throws me for loops sometimes because I'm like, this guy's just a pretty face and he's funny, but you're an encyclopedia. There's two cards in that 2002 Topps Chrome. There's card number 100 and card number 150. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Do you know why it is that way?
You talk about the Topps Chrome card? Yep. No. Tell me.
I don't know. I'm asking you, Cage, because I've never seen that. I've never seen kind of the same exact card. They almost have the same photo on it. 2002, Topps Chrome. There's one card numbered 100 and the other 150. And I was going to bring Luca Nation the option to pick between the two. But I think card number 100 is a play. And you could get that in a PSA 9 or a PSA 10, depending on your budget. But just to give you context,
is there a difference in the pop?
Say again?
Is there a difference in the pop?
I'll take a look. I'll take a quick look here.
So, I mean, that happens sometimes. Some sets do that. I know, like, vintage baseball, the 38 Gaudy set has two different DiMaggios in it. Same likeness, same artwork of him. One of them has little cartoons in it. Interesting. Did not know that.
Well, as a lawyer, you always say, don't ask questions you don't know the answer to, right? So I'm kind of breaking your cardinal rule.
I tell you that all the time. Well, it's impossible to know about every single card. Although I try.
So what's cool about this card, and as suspected, there's only 130 PSA 10s of card 100. There's only 39 PSA 10s of card number 150. Okay, 181 total graded and 440 total graded of card number 100. I think that's significant, Cage. This release really reminds me of the 2012 Prism release, and you're going to get someone that's going to go down in history as the greatest player of all time. I think what's interesting is, Cage, what would have happened if in the 2012 release they had Michael Jordan cards? How sought after would that card have been if it had a 50 pop on it, right? And that's what you're doing here with Tom Brady.
I like it. So PSA 9 you said was how much?
400-ish, and the PSA 10 is 1,500. Of course, what's difficult right now, Cage, is when you see a run up, every auction's beating the previous auction, right?
Yep.
It's not necessarily the true price because there's sellers there that are probably holding this card that if you do a little bit of digging, they might do it for $1,350 and another guy might do it for $1,550. But I think this is such an iconic card that the run up on it is just beginning because of how low the pop on it really is.
All right, cool. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. It's interesting. All right, so I'm color me flabbergasted here. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like purple, a little bit of yellow, maybe some blue, a little bit of black, whatever. That's flabbergasted. It's like a whole bunch of those different colors.
Maybe remember you called me a purple wave.
A goat whore? Yeah, it was like.
And now you called me a 1980s lesbian. So
I did. Well, people look at the video, they'll see this haircut. You look like you look like a mother. I don't even know what you look like, but it's not good. But you said you were a goat whore, so obviously this haircut attracts goats. So congratulations. That's obviously the look you're going for. So I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. It's unfathomable, without fathom, that you, who have a daily sports card podcast. Okay, you do it every day. You do a sports card podcast. And you call yourself a fan of the great Kobe Bryant. And on the anniversary of his death, you bring a Tom Brady play. So I will take it upon myself to pick up the slack for you, Kobe fan. And I will make a Kobe play today. Before I do that, anything to say on this momentous day, the 1-year anniversary? Since you are the Kobe fan of this crew, and you are the goat whore.
Well, people know me as that. People know how much I love Kobe, but I'm not great at tributes. I guess I want my life to be the true tribute. I'm at a loss for words, man. I don't know what. Nothing I'll say will do it justice. I think Kobe was an actions over words guy. You know what was something super interesting? I'll tell you something fascinating. And this probably wasn't the direction you thought I'd go.
Can't wait.
I've listened to every Kobe interview. Everyone. Read all his books. Everything he's done. I've scoured the earth, as Cage used to say.
Scoured the earth.
You know what's cool about Kobe that I don't know if a lot of people realize is he's an artist, actually, at the core. He not one of his interviews did he talk about money. And it's kind of an interesting thing, like realizing going back, like if you guys know, Jordan was a huge gambler, right? We all have that gambling itch, or a lot of us do. And I think a lot of us are in the hobby because we love money, we love freedom, but we also love that chase, the pursuit. It was cool to see how Kobe channeled his into really being the best at his craft. Like, it's funny, we don't think of basketball as art, but he really treated it as artwork. And he was truly, truly, truly an artist. And that's what's, in my opinion, separated him from a lot of other people, a lot of other role models, a lot of other stars. Is it was kind of like Picasso, Michelangelo, Da Vinci that we lost. And he had so much more art inside him to give. So maybe that's a tribute that I'd share with people is don't die with the music still inside of you.
I love it. Listen, I gotta give you the opportunity to talk about that. I mean, that's the key. And my play today will be, exactly that. It's Kobe. And I like your play on the goats. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a goat whore like you, but, I like the goats. I like your Brady play because, you don't have to go and break the bank and you're still getting in on Tom Brady at the, ground floor here. But one of the things you picked earlier this week kind of stuck out with me, right? Because you were talking about iconic non-rookie cards, right? And, you were talking about like the LeBron chalk chrome or the LeBron, what is it, 08 card that has LeBron and Kobe on it.
Yeah, ironically, right? Card number 24 and 23. So 23 is with just LeBron, 24 is LeBron and Kobe.
So I decided that I would look for other cards I consider iconic in a way to play both Kobe and LeBron. And I found two that I have a feeling that if you're not somebody who listens to this, you're not going to be able to get them cheap. They are plentiful on eBay, not in the greatest of condition. They're still costly if you try to buy them in PSA. But I found two cards that I like. I think they're pretty cool. And both can be had for under, one of them under 100, both under 200. And they're both LeBron rookie cards. But they're LeBron rookie cards with Kobe on the card. And
the little optic hollow? No.
So this is why, man. I did a little deep dive today because I know Kobe was important to you. So I didn't want to just come on here and say, okay, everybody go buy, go buy this card for a nickel on StarStock. I wanted to tell you.
Go buy Smush Parker cards.
Go buy Smush Parker. Go buy Ish Smith and all that ish. So you
don't know the story about how much he hates Smush Parker, do you?
No.
Literally despises him.
Well,
he doesn't like. He never liked lazy teammates. It was kind of a recurring theme. I think a lot of people out there. One of the funniest.
I know how he feels. So 2003, right? So we got the two cards here. You ready?
So if you're Kobe, am I Shaq?
Dude, can anybody look at us and actually make that comparison? Absolutely not. If you're Shaq, who am I? George Murasan? I'm Bull. I don't know. It's so 2003, 2004 Upper Deck freshman season. Kobe versus LeBron. Upper Deck card number 39. Cool card. Very similar picture. Bron with the ball, holding it up here. Kobe checking him in the back, playing defense on Bron. A Bron rookie card. Pretty cool card. Like I said, there's ComC listings, 100 and change. There's ones under 100. And this one's a little bit more money. There's a couple of auctions on it. But it's a pretty cool card also. It is from the 2003 Fleer Autographics set, but it's not an autograph card. So obviously there are autograph versions of the autograph set, but it's a cool card. It says Skybox right across it, right? So Skybox Fleer, combined deal, but it is a LeBron rookie, and they got the two of them on the same card. So, it says Lakers, it says Cavs. There's one at auction with a couple hours left. It actually will end a few hours after we release this episode. So maybe we're really, I don't know who the seller is, but we're doing him a favor, right? It's only $152. They'll buy it just for the raw card. I didn't want to bring PSA, but obviously there are plenty of these out there, guys. The pops on them are pretty low, just because people haven't really graded them. The pops are pretty low on it. But I just thought it was a cool way, one, to get a Kobe card in your collection, but at the same time, these are LeBron rookie cards. So you get kind of like that added bonus. It's the same thing as that 2008 Chrome with the two of them on the card, but you get that's not a rookie card for either one of those guys. These are the low level. They're not Topps Chrome, but they're a way for you to go and get a LeBron. We talked about LeBron rookie cards, right? And how people want to buy the bazooka and people want to buy all these other cards. By the way, there are several of these in the 300 range or best offer, so you probably get them if you're 2 or whatever it is in ungraded. But the I would rather get these cards than like a LeBron bazooka card, because they're not just LeBron lower level rookies. They also have Kobe on the card, so it's a cool little added. We want to talk about supply and demand, right? So you add in a little extra demand, because now there are Kobe fans that wouldn't mind having this card also, right? As opposed to just the people out there who want to buy LeBron. So there's my play for you guys today. There's 2 cards. I'm sure if I did a little more research, I could find a couple, but I didn't want to get too expensive. But I did like early when we talked about those iconic cards. And these are cool. They got two of your friends. You're a whore for the goats. They got 2 of them on one card. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I love it. Luca Nation, that card that caged the second one, the autographics, LeBron and Kobe. I remember looking at that card earlier last year, and it was right around actually the same price. It was about $125, $150 card even then. So that's cool. So it hasn't had the run up, and I think it could instantly become at least a lower end iconic card for everyday investors who want to get something for their kids as a gift. So I'm a fan of that card. I think it looks very cool.
Yeah, I believe it or not, I actually like the other one. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's Upper Deck Collectibles, like freshman card, and it's the same. It's got Kobe's playing defense, and it's got a cool background, and it's Upper Deck. So like the card.
Let's talk about one thing here.
Yeah, please.
In August, we had a modern run up, and then we had vintage that followed. And some of the big cards during that vintage run up, right after modern NBA, was the Kareem. But then there was the trio, the Julius Erving, Bird, and Magic card, right?
Yep.
Well, that card sold through collectible. I believe it's sold. Cage, you could correct me. I'm still learning.
Well, I think it's in the voting period right now. It's sold through collectible. Yeah, but it sold originally as an IPO, and now it's in the voting period before it gets out to its secondary market. Yeah.
$720K for a PSA 10. That's a base card, right? In theory.
Yep.
What do you make of that sale? That's an iconic card, but that isn't an auto. There's nothing super unique about that card. That was just in packs all over the place in the 80s, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there are not a lot of 10s at all, which is what does it, Not a lot of 10s at all. A lot of 9s, like 600 9s.
Wow.
But not a lot of 10s. Yeah. Yeah, I had a 9 and I sold it because of that. It was one of those cards that even though the 10 will go up and the 10 is iconic, the 9 will go up too, but the 9's not an irreplaceable card. That's one of those cards where the 10 is like you're really flexing if you have a 10 on that, because there's not a lot of 10s.
I want to talk about something.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that someone would think with there is, well, why don't I go BGS 9 and 9.5 and split the difference? But it seems to me that BGS is losing ground, or maybe to put it differently, I feel like the modern day flexer wants to show off that PSA 10. A BGS 9.5 just won't do it. Would you apply the same theory or concept to Michael Jordan, quad 9.5 Fleer?
Yes. So I'm going to say something, and you guys can, take for what it's worth. I don't pay a premium for a BGS 9.5 over a PSA 9. I don't think it's worth any more. So
do you think that's because in your head that you could cross that 9.5, you could crack it out and send it to BGS and get a 9.5? All you need to do is just actually crack that card out. You know how to do it.
Because I think the vast majority of BGS 9.5s, especially in the higher end of those cards, is something that's already someone's attempted to get a 10 on, and it's a 9. That's why.
There you guys have it. And let us know what you guys think, because I've been thinking a lot about that. It doesn't just apply to that Bird card. With the run up in the Jordan Fleer, a lot of people are, and you're seeing this, a lot of people are making offers on eBay for $130K for Michael Jordan BGS 9.5, quad 9.5 Fleer. But I wonder from your guys' perspective, do you think that's in the same ballpark? Would you value at that, not the same, but would you value that in between a 9 and a 10? Just what's your thoughts on it? Send us a DM.
Well, I mean, listen, my take on is probably different than most, right? And you talk about like other cards, like smaller cards. Sure, I can see it, right? And a lot of people take nines, and they will, they'll turn them into potentially crossing over. When was the last time you heard of somebody being, successful on a crossover on a 9-5, especially one where it was a 9-5 that had min gem, where there were nines on it? What do you think?
So actually, I'll answer it two ways. If you have a min gem, I would crack out. But gem plus, I have not seen any gem min plus cross. I haven't heard of any. Yeah. I personally, it hasn't worked for me. I've seen people in groups say I'm 0 for 5. I just don't see it. And it's funny, like I was looking at the card today, the Kobe star date, 1996 X2000 star date. I think it's selling for record prices. The PSA 10's over $20,000. But now people are trying to sell the BGS 9.5 Gem Mint Plus for $15K. And it's scary because I know that the chances are that's not going to cross to a 10.
I'm almost positive it's not going to cross. So just to put some color on it, right, guys? So Magic and Bird, two on the same card. Whether you like the single cards or the multiple cards, it's a different kind of deal, right? But they are in the conversation for greatest basketball players of all time, top 10, top 15, top 20. Right up there with the LeBrons and the Michael Jordans, right? Maybe slightly below. And the Michael Jordan rookie card, which is now going for what? I mean, I think the buyout probably gets rejected at $265. We'll see what the golden auctions and stuff go for. But what's that, a $300,000 card? There's 318 of those. Okay? Now, here's where it gets to be fun. I told you there's more than 600 nines of that Jordan Bird. I was right. It was 611. Didn't have to look that up. But I told you there's really few 10s. You want to take a guess on how many 10s there are? If there's 318 Michael Jordan 1986 PSA 10s, how many 1980 tops scoring leader Bird, Irving, Johnson?
I'm going to say
PSA 10.
Less than 50.
There's been 8,638 of them graded. 24 10s. That's why it's sold for what it's sold for. 24 in the world. Okay, so that's a 10. It's unimprovable. I don't even remember the last time one came up for sale besides the collectible, deal. And it's one of those things where, there's going to be 200 something people who have a Michael Jordan PSA 10. There's only going to be a couple of them who have the PSA 10 Michael Jordan sitting next to this card, right?
How do you explain that?
How do I explain what? The pop?
Yeah, that's such a distinction, like such a big gap. And it's
because of the type of card that it is, right? So first of all, like nobody cared about this card. I think they made a lot less 1980 tops than they did 1986 Fleer. So that's one. Two, you lost a lot of the Gem 10 possibility because of the triple card. People actually like ripped them and turned them into, individual cards. They got like perforation on them. There's a lot of printing issues in the 1980 tops that will refrain from 10s, but it'll give you a nice little black line that shows up on a lot of them. A lot of them are a little bit off-centered, a lot of print defects on these things. So 10s are really, they're really difficult. There's just not a lot of them. And 1980 tops, there's a there's a track record for it. I don't know how many there are, but it's not a lot, maybe 40 of them. Another card I regret not buying, which was like a $25,000 or $30,000 card, went up to 40 last year. 1980 tops also, Ricky Henderson, PSA 10. Not one of the greatest of all time, unless you ask him. He would say he's the greatest player to ever play, Ricky. But great leads and runs. He obviously is a great ball player, but so few PSA 10s, like minuscule amount, just like this card in 10s, but a ton of 9s, just so few. I think it just sold for over $100,000 this week. One sold for. So that vintage push is there, and it's not just a vintage push though. It is the elite of the elite cards, because it's like everything else. Just like we got into this, and everybody else got into this, and all Luca Nation got into this. It's enough mainstream now where the people who have a lot of money, they can go out and buy this card. And if they're looking for a house in Bel Air, that's $20 million, and they don't like that particular house, or somebody doesn't want to give it to them for $19 million. They just move on to the 3 other $20 million houses in Bel Air that are on the same street, and they find one of them that they buy. Yep. Can't do that with this stuff. There's 24 of these in the world, and maybe 2 available for sale every couple of years. So, that's why the prices go where they are, because, you get one or two people who want it. They have the money to spend. So,
well, the way to put a bow on it, brother. Well, I'm lucky. I'm the best co-host in the world. So you're the man, Cage. I learned a ton from you. Luca Nation, we love you very much. Hope you have a blessed day.
And guys, listen, before I let you go, obviously, want to get on Star Stock, we still have our code, Luca Nation 10. Cool Kobe card. I love it. You deposit at least $5, they'll give you $10. A lot of people have signed up. We love you guys. A lot of people are on there, buying cards, selling cards. It's fun. We have a group for it too. If you get in, send us a message. We'll get you in a Star Stock group. And speaking of the groups, we're getting a lot of fun messages from you guys about those. Hey, I'm in this group, but I really like basketball better than baseball. Don't be shy. We'll create separate groups. We'll try to, match you up with groups that are, matching your hobby, your way of buying, what you're more interested in, vintage, you name it. And if you're not in a group yet, send us a message. Say, get me in a group, and add a little detail. Say, get me in a group and I'm a big basketball guy, or get me in a group and I'm a vintage baseball guy. And, we'll try to put you in one where the conversation will be, something that keeps you engaged. So that's it. Here's my deal. Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.